Hello and welcome to a world building episode where we're going to build a world that may or may not happen into a server. So my idea here is that I kind of got it from somebody else. If you all know, a lot of people do that are in my group know Mr. Reach over at Reach Gaming, and he does what he calls seasonal servers, which he'll have a theme or something you're doing, like build his newest one is building bed and breakfast, motel, or a hotel, and you get a month to do it, and then he's going to showcase them at the end of the month, have people vote on the best one. I thought the same thing, but we're going to call it something else. I'm not sure what yet. We'll have to wait and see. But to see, before I go ahead and open this server, because I've made the mistake in the past, I want to make sure that there's actually people that want to do this. So to drum up a little bit and see if there are people interested in this will be a modded server, but we're going to build the world ourselves. And so we would use this world every time we do it. Just it'll be reset, wiped, and there'll be new things to build. Whatever they be, like I don't know, a bookstore. Everybody has to build a bookstore. Whatever. We'll vote on it. We'll come up with things to do. So if you're interested, either in that, which say yes, you'd be interested in the comments, or if you're just interested in how to make your own world, we'll go through that on this little tutorial. Okay, I am using a tool called MapToolz by Zipcore. I will put the link in the description on where you can download this, and it is an awesome little tool. And what it does is it will export your world. So I saved us time. I went ahead and we already did a random gen. So when you're in the screen, type F1. And this is a mod. You have to put the MapToolz mod in your mod folder, and then that makes all this work. Now, what we'll do is you type map, export, hit enter. Here's all your worlds. We're going to do the base server, but I've already exported it. So we'll go ahead and, how about we do the eDojo? What we want to look for is right here where it says ID 2. So this is 2. Now we'll do the map export again, and we'll hit 2. So if we were doing the server that we're going to do, the Luantar build server, it would be ID of 5. And then you just hit enter. And this will go through and actually make a map file, your splat file, all the things that you no longer get on your generated world. I'm getting an error on this one because it looks like I've already done that for that one. So it's just telling me that it's already been done. Now, we're actually done inside of here. Okay, so now we're outside of the 7 days to die. What we're looking at here is the new place where they put everything. So you need to go to your roaming folder, 7 days to die, and now generated worlds. And this will be all the worlds that you've made, different ones that you've done, whatever you've saved. And we're going to go to the build server. Now all of this right here is just the normal. That's what you see every time you random gen a world or you make a world. Workspace is the folder that the MapToolz actually puts there, so that you can get all of this. The biomes, your DTM, which if you don't know, the DTM is your world. It's the file that it looks at. So for me, I use GIMP. So we're going to hit open with GIMP. And this world is a 4K by 4K. And I did a few tests before we did this just to kind of see what I wanted to do. Now the neat thing about this, GIMP is a free tool. You can download it and use it. It may take a little while to get used to, but that's okay. First thing I want to do is get rid of all this pesky land. So this is water. The darker area is water. This is probably on the edges, is more than likely down to bedrock. We don't really want it down to bedrock. So what we'll do is we chose a part here in this lake, and now we're going to flood fill. And there we go. Now all this is, it's all water, everything except for these areas, and I kind of like leaving those mountains there. And we'll turn some of them into snow, some into desert by the time we're done. And if you wanted to, you could actually, which, why not? Then we'll have everything. We'll copy that. And we'll go down here. And then we will, I have to look, remember where that was. I wasn't planning on doing this. We want to rotate it. Actually, I think it's over here. I have to remember. It's been a while since I've rotated things. Rotate tool. So let's rotate that. Let's do it 180. Rotate. And then now we've got that. So now let's do the other side. Oops. Let's hit Control Z, Control Z. That is anchor layer. Now we should be able to come back up. Shoot. Control copy. Control V. Use our rotate tool. Rotate it 180 degrees. Go to the move tool. Let's put it just like that. And let's anchor layer. And just like that. Now we've got a border all the way around. Now here's what I kind of played with earlier. Okay, so we're going to have to, we'll mess with this a little bit, but we want to go to 250. I think that was a good mark right here, but we need to change our color too. So let's zoom in because we want to see the color right here kind of on the border. So we're going to select that and that changed the color. Now we should be able to zoom back out. Now we can see the whole picture. Let's go back here. And what we're doing is a square. So, bloop. We've got a square there. Okay. Now, this is all we're going to do right now. Let me go and file. Export as. We're going to replace the one that was originally there. It's going to say, do you want to do that? Yes, we do. Export. It'll take a minute. And it's done. Now let's go back into the game and we'll transfer this into the files and then we'll see what the world looks like. Okay, here we are back in the game. Now you're going to want to hit F1. And if you don't remember what it was, map export. And this time we're actually doing the build server, so it's going to be ID 5. Now the command is map convert 5. And that's going to take your file that we just made and it's actually going to inject it into the files and remake the world like that. Okay, now we're there. We can get rid of that screen. Now we're going to click a new game. And we're going to find our world. And we're going to go ahead and do size test. Now let's start it. Now the first time you start this, like it said, it can take a little bit just because it's redoing things. Because we already had cities in there and we just got rid of the land under the cities. The nice thing is the game's going to automatically put them on the map. Now the roads are going to be messed up. We know this. We're going to go back and kind of erase those roads when we get to that point. But for right now, we're just kind of making sure that the land is the right height we want and kind of see where the cities are. So we'll actually go through and do the map convert again once we're done. Because then it should give us the land where the cities are so we don't accidentally put an island on top of a city. Okay, and now as you see, I spawned in the water because that's where the spawn was. Let's go to our DM mode, and hit F1 before we oops, and Q before we drown, so we're now God. And we will fix that. Okay, so first, this is what your cities are going to look like. Like I said, there's bears everywhere too. We will get rid of the cities. Right now, look, see, we got wrecked, that son of a gun. We will get rid of the roads going to the cities, because as you see, it kind of cuts down into the water and they go down, and that's one heck of a drop off. So we will get rid of those and put new ones in. But it did put the cities in. Okay, now the map should be the opposite. Now see, the islands are cut a little bit because of the way we cut them. That's okay, because we're mainly using them like a border. So see, and there's the water opening that we did. I don't know, I think it's kind of neat. Like I said, it kind of makes it like a border going through your world. And you really have to work to get up to where the trees and stuff are. But we're going to change it also. Now we've got our snowy area. In case you're wondering, I'm hitting the Q button. The speed, shift, walk, W, and then Q. And it shoots you forward like this when you're in debug mode. Okay. Now, here is the land we just made. Now, it is a heck of a drop-off down to the water. So we will take care of that with the smoothing tool once we're done. But what we mainly wanted to see was, does this look like a good size to be able to build on? And is the water height correct? In other words, we just went just kind of up out of the water. So it looks good. We could probably actually go down just a little bit lower, but it'll take care of that when we smooth it out. Okay, so let's get back out of here. And we're going to map convert it again. But before we do that, we actually have to delete the old folder. The workspace folder that I showed you. So I'm going to delete that real quick. And now we'll hit F1. We're going to do the map convert again, our map export, just to make sure it's still 5. And it is. So map export 5. Now it's going to go through and redo it, and it should show us the cities that were on there too. And it's done. Okay, let's get out of here, and we'll get back to our editing of the world. Okay, here we are. We're back in the folder. Our workspace is there, and we should actually have our new. So let's open it up with GIMP. And they should show us the new one, and it's not showing us the cities. So let's, to fix that, what we need to do is we're going to go back in, and we're going to do the map convert again. I won't show you all that, but I'll show you what happens after you're done. Okay, actually I was wrong. I have not used this just for a little bit. And they've changed the command. You don't have to do map convert to get your preview. You actually do map preview 5. And that should give us a preview. The little thumbnail that shows you what it is. Okay, and it should be done. So let's get out of here. And now in our workspace, we have a preview folder. So we need to actually open this up in GIMP also. Now, we want to select all, edit, copy, oops, let's zoom out on this one so we can see it. And now we want to, oops, paste as new layer. Now we get this here. Now we want to do it. It's actually the same size, which is good. We want to go over here to opacity. Yes. We want to turn it down. So now you see we have our water, everything. Now we see where the cities are. Why is this important? Just so we don't place something where they're at. Also, when we do the roads, we'll want to do this also. But always make sure when you're doing anything, you click back to here, because you want this one to be where everything is. Now let's go back to our brush. And this is where you just kind of have to design. How much space do you want in between them? How many islands do you want? Now those look a little bit, okay, it's good. It's just the color radiancy, because that's on the map too with that. So we're just going to kind of place these little squares all over the map. Just remember, if you're doing something like this, the more you place, the more you're going to actually have to do on roads, which might suck. Which is okay, though. What we do for the people. Because I don't think we're ever going to need these many squares, but you never know. And you could do the same thing that I'm doing here. If you wanted to have, say, an island world, you could do circles or other shapes or whatever. It just takes quite a bit more to do it than it used to do when we had, and I can't think of the name of the mapping program to do it with. And it would put highways in, it would join them all. But now there's a new one being worked on called Tarragon. Let's hope that everything goes good with that. There we go. I don't even know how many we have in there. Probably doesn't even matter. A plethora for as many people as we need. Okay, so now here comes the interesting part. Now we're actually going to have to put land in between each of these to make the roads easier. And what we're going to probably do is make roads that go through everything and then cut off to that. So let's zoom in. Nope, not out. In. Not all the way in. Sometimes this program can be a little jinky. Okay. Let's go one more out. Now we got the squares done. We still want the squares. We want them to be big enough. We'll put it here. Kind of go in through. Just like that. It would be nice if we could actually just easily do all this, but we can't. So what we'll want is there to there, there to there, there to there, there to there, there, there. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, this is our world. We can do whatever you want, right? Go there, there. Just the more that you do, the more it's going to be when it comes time for roads. Because this is just the connecting ground with the roads. And I probably... Yeah, we're going to start over. Let's undo. Control Z, Z, Z. Because it's pretty important. I want to be able to stop this or change it and stuff. So we want actually a new layer. And we're going to call it roads. Let's call it land roads. Okay. Now we want to be on that. Because what that's going to let us do, Let's go ahead and put this back in. Come out to there. Now, it's its own thing. So we can actually make changes to everything else. Because what I was thinking we should have done, which is fine because we can just come do it later, is we need to pretty much do that. And remember I said we were going to feather those out. We'll need to feather them out. Because right now the roads are going to be high too. And we'll feather those also. But let's do the roads. Where were we? Zoom. 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 Like I said, doesn't have to be perfect. Don't let perfect get in the way of good. And then let's bring this one down through here. Like that. Take that one right there. This can go here. This one go over like that. And let's take this one over to there. Like so. And let's bring this down. And we'll have it kind of connect here too. Oop. And then we'll scroll down a little bit. Let's have it come out like this. Go down to there. Like I said, this could be anything you want it to be. Let's connect those two like that. Let's go over to there. Let's do that. Oops, a little much. Let's spear off down through here. Like that. Spear this one off over through here. Like so. Connect them. And we'll connect these. Connect these. Kind of come back up through here. Connect those. Connect that. Connect those two. Connect that. That. We're going to spear this one down through here. Bring it up and over. Get those. And that. Like that. Like that. Like that. We'll take this one down over here. Have it go into there. Then have it come up through here. Let's take that over through there. Go out. Take this one up through here. Take that one. Connect it over to there. 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 Now let's connect these. Connect that. Now let's come through like this. Take this one down through here, I believe. And we'll start connecting these. Connect that up. We'll split off of here. Connect that one. Like I said, anything you want to do here is your world to destroy or build or however you want to do it. Connect that there. Take this one up through here also. And let's connect here. Go like that and then like that. And then just make a couple more connections. This one isn't connected. Whoops. Hit Control Z on that. And I think that's it for our connections. So let's zoom back out just to make sure. All right. Does it look like everything's connected to you? Let's move this out of the way. Speak up or forever hold your peace. I'm just scanning, taking a drink. Looks like everything's connected. Like I said, there are some towns here, but this is basically for building. This isn't really one to go do a bunch of stuff on. This will mainly be for the other. And like I said, I could do this with bigger cities and quite a few more cities. And if someone wanted it for a server, they could probably contact me and I might be able to do one for them. And make it a little bit more realistic, like islands. But we'd have to see. Okay, so let's go back in. And we're going to zoom back in. And let's do this. Smudge tool. Oops, that's not what we wanted. Let's zoom in. Okay. And let's go to the smudge tool again. Make it a tad bit smaller. It might even be a little. Let's do the round. And let's go that round. That's a little much. Let's go 25 maybe. Still too small. Okay. This is where it can get a little tedious. And I will probably speed it up for this. Or cut it out completely. We just have to go all the way through and smudge all of this all along. And what that does is it levels out the ground a little bit more. Makes it so it's not that huge drop off that you saw. Okay, so we're done with the road connecting. Now we want to go back to the actual islands and do the same thing. And the nice thing about this is, see, it's actually going to change the shape of them. So each one's going to have a little bit different shoreline, different things. And that's why I said it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to change. Like, look at here. That's going to be a little bit water in there and stuff. So it's kind of neat. And like I said, this is just a burn tool. And you're just doing the outlines and burning it in. And like, say you want to do this, you can do it and get it really burnt in to do different things if you wanted to get fancy. And you could use this for, like, if you want to make mountains and stuff on there, you just burn it in a little bit different. Okay, I'm going to finish this up, then I'll bring you back. All right, so we're done with that. And I actually think we came up with a name for this because doesn't it kind of look like pieces of toast? So I don't know. Maybe Toast Town. But here's everything. Now, while we're here, we want to save this, okay? Because once we compile it, we're going to squeeze all these two layers here down. So let's go ahead and we will delete this layer. So that just leaves us with this. So this is our height map. This is what it will actually tell it to do what it's going to do. The other things that were on there, those were just visual. It automatically will set the height for those. So we have no, unless we wanted to put an island where they're at, which I guess we could, but I think we'll just let it do it. I mean, if you wanted to cut it so it's not square, you could. I mean, let's, I mean, we can do it. Here, let's do. Get a little bit smaller, but we want it on that layer. We want it to be hard. That's what she said. Let's go just a tad bit bigger. Okay, so we can do that. Now let's go back to the burn tool. Let's go back to this. Let's zoom back in and see how sharp that is. Let's real quick, we'll just gonna make that one square right there, which is fine. Here, there, that might actually do it. There we go. Now let's do this one. I'm not even gonna say what this one kind of looks like. Oh, I don't think we did that. Let's go to the roads real quick. Now let's go back to the DTM. This will give us a little bit of land around it, and then we can kind of control a little bit of it. Let's move this out. And you can get to see the tool working again, just like that. Okay, so let's save that again. Let's save. Now, we can delete that layer, and that's going to leave us this, which is our DTM map now. Let's zoom back out. And there's our map. All our little islands. So now what we want to do is let's flatten image. And then we will file export as the DTM. And we're going to replace that one. Replace it. Export. So now that's set as our world map. We still have to convert it, but we're not done yet. Let's hit Control Z, so we get both those back. Now let's go back to our folder. And we don't want the preview. We want the actual workspace. We want to open Splat in GIMP. And this is the roads. Okay, so now we can close that one. Discard changes. Whoops. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and let's flatten this. And we're going to select all, edit, copy. And then we're going to go over to this one. And we're going to zoom out. And we're going to hit edit, paste as new layer. Okay. And then opacity again, so that we see that. Now let's go back to here and we'll hit Control Z. Actually, we can just close this. And that way we don't mess up that file in case we need to go back and fix it. Sorry with the creaky chair. My other chair kind of broke, and with I threw my back out. It's not very comfortable. So I'm sitting in my old creaky chair that I used to have. Okay, so let's zoom into our roads. So now, see, you have the green, the nice little green area here. We want that. We want that color. Just like that. Get it. Get it. Get it. Oh. We need it on the splat. Like that. Okay. Now, We want to go back to here. We're going to want the hard. That's what she said. But I think we're going to want the hard square. Okay. No, not that one. That's the clipboard mask. That one. Okay. Now, we want to get it about the same size as this. That's pretty darn close, isn't it? Okay. Okay, let's make it a little bit smaller. Let's do 12. And that should keep us so that we can actually stay in here. And this will be tedious also. But we like roads, don't we? Okay, I'm going to do all these roads, and then I'll bring you back for the next thing that we're going to do on the roads. Just give me a moment. Mommy don't know Daddy's getting hot at the body shop, doing something unholy. Okay, so we've got the roads all done. Had to go through and use the eraser tool just like that. Let's just cut it off right there. Use the eraser tool there to get rid of what would have been down in the water. So, you know what? Let's just doop doop. And let's go back. And we will zoom into there and we, no, not all the way in. And we will go back to 12. I think 12 is what it was. And we'll combine those two. Okay. So now, this has worked before, and it has not worked before. So let's see which it's going to do this time. Now we have the red. Now we need to go to, I forget where things are on here. Flood fill. Okay. Now see how it filled it? Now if you look at it, let's zoom in. It still has some green around the edges. It's not as perfect as this, but still, it's going to give you a little bit look kind of like what that is. Now what we need to do is go make a couple connections. And I know if you do that before you hit the flood fill, then it actually doesn't work. It fills everything up. Okay, so let's do it. So you're going to have some that doesn't have the area, but overall it's going to give it a little bit better of a look. Okay, and that should be it. Let's zoom way out. Go out one more. There should be our road system. So let's go ahead and save this. And then we will delete that layer. There's our road system. I mean, I don't think it'll mess it up. If it bothers you like it does me, you can go ahead and cover that up a little bit so you can see the better. It still actually bugs me. But see, it's just, that's clear. So it's not going to show anything. Okay. Now, we need to export this one. And we're going to replace the splat. Export. Now, our workspace. See the splats updated. The DTM's updated. We should be good to go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and delete the preview. And we're going to go back into 7 Days to Die. And we will update everything. Okay, here we are back in the game. Let's bring them up. Just to make sure everything's still where it was. Lunatar build server is still 5. So now we want to do map convert 5. Booyah! And it will take a little while to do that. And it's mixing the files, making the things work, putting the roads in we had, and it's done. Now we want to do map preview 5. And that should kick us over a preview. Okay, and it's done. Now, we did forget one thing. We did forget to change the biomes, but we'll go back and do that later. We're going to now go in and see if everything we did works, how it looks. Now, you're seeing this when I am. I'm not going to change anything. The issue with building these maps is sometimes it comes out exactly the way you want it. More times it doesn't. So we'll see where we're at, and if we really have to change something, we'll change it. If not, we might just live with a little bit of the imperfections. Okay, while that's loading, I'll let you go away. And we're in the water again. Okay, so let's see. See how it's not perfectly round. Still a little bit steeper than what we'd like, but here, let's... But you can still get out of the water. That's the important thing. Okay. And how do our roads look? Beautiful. See that? Cars on the roads. And the water's deep, but it's not that deep. And you see, it's not bedrock. Because we had an issue with bedrock at a couple of them. Okay, see, we still have our little towns. The roads go to them, not 100% into them. Like I said, that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. They go through... Where's the other town? I kind of was curious about that. All right, let's do PUI. I want to go to Old West. Let's try Country Residential. Okay, so here's another one. And see, sometimes the road gets a little narrow. And we're going to get a little bit of water falling off like that. That's fun pimps, really. That's them not knowing what they're... I mean, that's them not fixing the water. Now let's check this. Because this looks a little sus. Why can't I go up any further? What's going on here? Come on. Okay, so it looks like a little tight. So you might have to swim to a couple spots where it gets a little bit lower. But for me, I think it's livable. See, there's spots along there where you can get up and on. Like I said, don't let good get in the way, or perfect get in the way of good. Okay. We are surrounded by mountains. Like I said, this is just a 4K map. So there's less loading in. Not as much on the towns. It could always be tweaked. We could always add traders and that. But what we will have to do is we'll probably pick like this town or something, one of the towns. Unless I take one of the islands and make one of the islands into a starting area, and we'll move the starting area just to that. But some of these are actually going to have compo pack stuff in them too, like this one. I know this one's a compo pack. Oh, this one's kind of neat. I don't think I've seen this one before. Huh. Now with the water in it. Okay, let's get out of here. And we'll go fix those biomes. Okay, and here we have the way the biome map is now. So what we're going to do is just bloop. I'm going to bloop. Let's come about up center. We're going to go a little bit more than center. Can we flood fill that? Okay. Do that. Let's... Oops, that's not what I meant. Let's hit Control Z. I meant to do that, and then we'll go over here. We'll add a little bit more. This way we have the green, we have the forest, we have the wasteland, we have desert, and we have frozen tundra, so people can build wherever they want to. But we also... Nope, Control Z. What we're going to do... Where's my spray can? Shake, rattle, and roll. A shake, rattle. I guess we can just do this. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Now, I like this idea. It's kind of gives you a little bit of transition between the two. Now let's get this and that, and we'll do the same thing along here. Just like that. Now let's go ahead and export as the biomes, replace, export it. And now we have to go back in to the game and redo this one more time. Now let's go get rid of the preview. Now we're going to do the map convert again. We'll do 5. That's going to change it. Should change all of the biomes. Sometimes I have had some issues with it leaving the biomes. So like it would look like it's forest on top, but when you dig, you actually get snow and clay. So not horrible, but when you're in the forest biome and all of a sudden you're freezing, it's a little weird too. We're going to go ahead and get the map preview out of here. And then we'll join the game one more time just to make sure that we've got a little bit difference on our biomes. And we're in the water again. Now let's get out. And we should have our new biomes. Look at this. If you want all 3 biomes on yours, or 3 of the 4 biomes, I guess, not all 3, you could have it. You could have snow, desert, and that. All right, so, but that's kind of a little bit of a cluster there, isn't it? Don't fall in here. This would be horribly bad. I guess you could probably get out. Poor guy didn't make it. All right, so that's pretty much it. Gotta beat this chicken. All righty. I got a feather. Okay, so let's go look at our preview. Boy, moving too fast and hit that, that'd be horrible, wouldn't it? Okay, let's go look at the preview. Okay, so here's the final preview with the corrected biomes. And it did kind of flip some things pretty weird there. As you see, we have desert all the way up here, and we didn't have desert there on the map. And we got frozen, desert, green. Green, desert, wasteland. You know, that's cool. Each their own. You can choose wherever you wanted to build. Like I said, it's up to you guys. Do we want to make this happen? Do you want to come on here and help build on this server and kind of have competitions in that? Let me know in the comments below, or join my Discord if you're not already a member, and let me know in there. Okay, thanks for joining me on this. If you're not interested in the server, maybe at least you learned something on how to build a map using MapToolz. All right, remember, stay live out there and keep on surviving.